There's a technique in hypnosis that I like to use, and it's called pattern interrupt. And it's the logic of it is that a lot of the things that we do are habitual. A classic example is when you shake someone's hand and they're expecting you to do this, but you yank their hand rather. And what that will do is two things. Firstly, it will kind of interrupt their pattern because they're going through it and then suddenly they're not. And also, when you yank them, they go slightly off balance. And when we're slightly off balance, the unconscious kicks in and it says, okay, what do we do? Or rather, the body says, okay, what do we do? And the unconscious says, move your leg, or whatever it does to respond. So you see this with stage hypnotists and street hypnotists. They will find a way of pushing someone off balance, and they'll set this up. They'll say, I'm going to do some hypnosis. So you're already kind of ready to go off balance. But at that moment when you do go off balance, then the hypnotist comes in and he says, sleep, or he says, relax. And then because the mind is primed to accept a command from that person, it takes it on as if it's their own command. Now, I'm not interested in doing those theatrics. I might have done that in the past if someone bought me a drink. But I'm really interested in the real magic, the real wonder, which is what happens inside the mind. And that happens quietly, that happens in silence. And people emerge from my workshops and my sessions surprised and in wonder at the power of their own unconscious, the generative power that has introduced them to a spirit animal, or taken them underground into the mycelial network, or taken them into their own timeline to meet a grandparent who has passed on and receive a gift from them, or take them into the future and meet an idealized version of themselves that they can then enter into conversation with and embrace. And that magic is far more spectacular than somebody getting stuck to a lamppost, or forgetting how to forgetting the number 3, or thinking that they are a Irish dancer or something like that you might see in stage hypnosis. The unconscious always brings us back to balance. That's its job. So for example, if you're walking up the stairs and you think there's another step, but actually there isn't, and you find that your foot lands on nothing, you don't have to think consciously, oh, I'm going to throw out my arm this way, I'm going to rearrange my spine that way so I don't fall over. The unconscious kicks in. If you're cold, the unconscious will make you shiver, and if you're hot, it will make you sweat. So you don't need to show the unconscious how to get towards balance. What you do need to do is unhook the conscious mind sometimes, which is controlling things with a little bit too much tightness. And sometimes you do need to go in to deal with some repetitive cyclical thinking, which might be a defense from some kind of trauma in the past, which was useful for a while but isn't serving you anymore.